It's the Cable
So I did a lot of Grizzle Branding and Furying yesterday. I think Fury's my pick, my overall pack one pick one from the pack, but I'm going to take Tamiyo. Card sweet. Ooh, Force of Will. Sick pack, huh? Fable, Palace Jailer. 6 p.m. in the Seychelles, sitting down for dinner. I don't know what that is, because I'm an ignorant American. The smallest country in Africa. Population of 100,000. Holy shit. This place looks gorgeous. This is where you're at? So one cool thing about Lutri is it means you'll just always have a blue card to pitch to Force of Will. I've been happy with Plagon. It's sweet with Tamiyo, but I'm going to grab the Lutri here. You spent 2 months traveling. This is your last stop. Nice. The weather's very British. What was your favorite stop? What was your favorite stop in your travels so far? Yeah, it sounds dope, Neil Bowles. Play some WoW, jam some Caleb D on the other monitor. Bacon mac and cheese, bacon double cheeseburger. That is very bacony. You said bacon twice, so sounds American. Yeah, I'm just grabbing the spiral, I guess. It makes the sense to keep cutting blue when you got the Force of Will here, but Occult is like kind of okay. There's some good reasons to be other colors. So we passed Grizzlebrand. We've been letting the black cards flow, but the Time Spiral makes like Shieldred and Orcs look better. In which case Overlord is pretty sweet. Of these cards, I think Stoneforge is the most exciting to protect with Force of Will. Old Days action. Machu Picchu and South Korea. Yeah, it sounds like you've had quite the fucking trip. I always regret not drafting Currency Converter when I pass it. This is a really good Seed Shark hack though. We have Force of Will and Time Spiral, all these like free giant spells. I'm gonna take the Shark, and I always like Currency Converter. It's hard. That was a hard pick for me. Could grab a Wrath of God. There's also a Lantern. I could see regretting not grabbing a Wrath. There's other Wraths, though. Vivian Cutter in here. Do we want a Stoneforge for Cutter? Yeah, again, passing Plagon. I like Plagon, but the Cauldron Complete is like why we grabbed the Stoneforge, right? A morning Caleb stream? You fucking know it. Yeah, basically, I have tickets to go see Bloodywood, Baby Metal, and Ginger tonight. And since I'm doing a 365, that means I'm streaming at 9 in the morning. Why not? Yeah, there's going to be a couple times over the course of the year that I only get like an hour or two stream in. Like, I think that's going to be the case on my wedding. But I'm going to do my best. I'm going to do the best to give the folks the content. Why am I doing a 365? It was a sub goal. Ooh, a Tundra. 15% done. The other day, someone said I was like a seventh of the way done. Which is closer to 15% than 20%. Thanks, Olothoporus. Appreciate the luck. I make my own luck. I don't recommend it, actually. I recommend buying the store-bought luck. Making your own luck, not very good. It's kind of like cutting your own hair. It's like, people can tell, you know. I think I'm going to grab that Jace. Jace. The Philia's tempting, but it doesn't really do a ton with what I got going on so far. Oh, we're coming into this fucking Gnome album. I'm just gonna start this from the top. We could jack a rabbit. We could grab a Bloodstained Mire. We can grab a Strip Mine. I'm kind of tempted by that Strip Mine, actually. One thing the Bloodstained Mire opens up is, like, Brainstorm starts to become good. And I want Brainstorm in my Tameo deck if we see it. You know it, Bloody John. IRL wedding stream? No, the internet's not good enough there at the venue. I had this whole saga where I set up like a mobile device and spent like a couple $100s on equipment trying to get it to work, and fail. I might rewatch highlights on stream or something. The plan for my wedding day is to have like a hype, like going. Today's my I'm getting married today. These are my wedding. This is my wedding garb. Maybe I'll have a guest or two. This seems like a deck that could splash a Flage. Not as cool as Time Warp Jace. That's a thing, huh? That's a Jace. I really like this red removal too. Yeah, the Gut's tempting. I'm gonna grab the Umazawas though with the Stoneforge. It'll be a backup if we already have the Cauldron. Not as cool as a live stream for sure. I tried to make it work. F that noise, enjoy your wedding. Well, the live stream would not have been like what's the word? I wouldn't have been running commentary, we'll put it that way. I would have just like set it up. And then folks could live watch the ceremony if they wanted. I wouldn't consider it if it would like interfere with the actual wedding. This is an interesting pack on Metamorph, Subtlety, and Third Path. Wedding stream with an advantage bar, amazing. Morning, Sinaz. A little sideboard plunderer action. Plunder is a good threat. It's like way better if the opponent's playing a bunch of artifacts, though. So the Pyrokinesis is a lot better than it looks because we have this Lutri to just always have something to pitch. That said, the Hollowed Fountain and the Ponder are both very tempting with this shell. I'm gonna grab the Hollowed Fountain, make this Flage a lot more castable. The Eagles are tempting as well, You both have like current duels here. The Early Bird, right. The Early Bird fucks the worm. I'm gonna take this to Johnny. The Planisphere would actually be interesting in this deck. Perhaps to the Blue Drafters want the Undercity Sewers and the Time Twister. Chocolate Fountain, no Chocolate Fountain. We splurged on fancy cakes. And then for booze, we're gonna have like a keg of South Shore and boxed wine. It's gonna be a pretty what's the word? Pretty modest wedding, but like still tasty and good. Was the goal. We ordered a bunch of snacks the other night. It was mostly like variety pack party things that like come in a box so we can just like take the lid off, have a table set aside for it. The small little like party like chip and cookie packages or whatever. It's like more plastic getting thrown away than if you've got like a big like fucking bag of cheddar popcorn that you just dump in a bowl. But if you consider there's going to be like tens of people there, like all putting their hands in, seems like you'll end up with like less people getting sick if everything's all like portioned out and stuff. People can just grab a bag, and then there's more variety. This Profs is kind of sweet with Time Spiral. There's a Sechrome here. Singing a Super is great with Force of Will. The Mana War Force is good with Flage. I could see wheeling that. I think I'm gonna grab that Skyclave. We're a little light on random removal spells. Ooh. So I don't think we have the creature count for Guide of Souls. It's good with, like, the King Mog. I think I'm gonna grab Shorkai here. A lot of sad little bags of Fritos at the end of it. Yeah, maybe. But it's not like... not like that stuff goes bad, right? People can take stuff home. I might actually play this card. I'm gonna take the Eagles. I still, like... There's gonna be, like, we don't really have sweepers and stuff, so we kind of need the Pyrokinesis, and Expressive would be a great draw spell. Good one to flashback with Jace, and Ghost Vacuum would be good for the board. Currently, we just have this Lion Sash. But we kind of need the Eagles for our mana base. If this Flage is gonna be, like, a realistic thing to flashback, right? And then the Planisphere plays really well in the stack. It's, like, kind of how we're building. Like, we've been kind of building towards the Vivi. But maybe we need that Wrath of God Hum to avoid just dying. We got this Lantern. Should be pretty good. Am I up for a stip after this draft? Yeah, just save it until we're, like, in the third match, if you don't mind, Power Dragon. So it's a little fresher for me. There's always a variety in the variety packs that no one really loves. Oh, yeah. There's always one less liked thing. Oh shit, hey Gimpy MN, thanks for the sub, thanks for 28 months. Fritos prop up a shitty taco salad. I like opening a bag of Fritos, putting in some sour cream and some salsa, mixing it up. Nomming down with a plastic fork. Just a little, like, ghost snack bag. Fucking tasty. I need 2 cuts. Why is life so hard? How careful do you have to be to not stab the fork through the bag? Oh, that's why it's a plastic fork, Blackfire. You think escaping Flage will be tough? I don't think so. You do, like, 7 red sources, and we're going to have plenty of white sources, and then, like, eventually you get there with the Flage. It doesn't have to be turn 4 in this deck, right? But we need something. We need something to, like, give us a chance against aggro decks. And that's kind of what Flage is doing. Vivi helps with red mana, too, potentially. I might cut Umazawas from the main deck. Have Planisphere be my backup grab. Planisphere pitches to Force of Will. It's kind of sweet. I almost want to play some shitty red creatures to make this a Johnny a little bit better. Johnny's fine, though. Maybe I'll cut Subtlety. We'll just cut all of our anti-creature stuff. Who needs that? This is only 6 red, so not quite enough for me. We didn't get a Volk, so the Blitzingmeyer doesn't get blue mana, unfortunately. This is 9 blue. 8 white. Huh. Maybe my mana does suck. Maybe this is not very good. I'm on JM41. Yeah, so we didn't get any power like Ancestral Recall. We don't have any good white removal. No time walks for the Lutri to copy. Balance is good to know about. It's awkward because I think that balance just beats me, so I don't think I can actually force will the Stoneforge Mystic, even though I think the Stoneforge also beats me. Yeah, they get Cauldron Complete, and I don't have a ton of answers to that. I guess the Force of Will would have put me down 2 cards. It's a little bit more even with the Mana Vaults. Yeah, you got it. Typically, a blue-white deck would be the best at dealing with the Cauldron Complete, because blue you have bounce, and white you have exile removal. My deck sucks at that, though. I've got like 2 burn spells as my anti-creature cards of choice. I was really hoping to save this for post-Seed Shark. It was going to help me race, but I don't think I can let that resolve here. They're so wordy. The sagas, yeah. Yeah, I would have put in like half of them, I think. I haven't been impressed with the really expensive ones, the 9-drops. I've probably played this this Mog the most. Do I want to flip Jace? I do. My alarm to wake up there. Kind of feels like that path is setting me up for a balance, but I only played lane number 4. Maybe they're just pumping Ballista here. Oh, why'd I... Well, I guess double blocking is +1 life. I think I should have just blocked with 1, though. The constructs of 4 form. Oh shit, what up? Hey, Core with 70. Thanks for the sod. Thanks for 18 months. Morning for me, late night for you. Well, I'm glad you could catch the stream. I almost want to go face, huh? Put him down to 8 here, and then attack down to 6. I should do this, though. Should shrink that construct. Oh, this fizzles the Flage ability. Huh. Does the construct serve... Or the Chrome Host. Does the Chrome Host serve? I think so. No, it doesn't. Well, God, it's close, huh? If they hit an untapped land, they can move the Calder Complete. But they'd have to tap their Construct tokens. So then the Urza would be 6 power. I could jump with the Tameo. We spinning. We're spinning. We found a lush portico. I'll take the 3. Wow, a wild little game. Cathar Commando looks good at what against what they're about. Ooh, and plunder, That game was stressful. A little bit. Hard evidence and memory. What a combo, Looking at a 2/5 crab detective. One of my favorite little cards. The Basalt Monolith basically like bricks the days. Because next turn they'd have like 7 mana. Oh, they're just off it. Gonna try and hold on to this Mishra's Bauble so I can like immediately trigger this Planisphere. No Tithe Plocks. I said Plocks! Reading the new equipment. Blue-white, I see. Dub's Talisman. Could be 2 balance decks back to back. I feel so bad trying to like skip 2 turns to get library on. Could be like very well correct. I think you want to play your land, so if you hit a plains, you can jam the good King Mog here. The Mentor cometh. That is a hell of a brain surge. Quite the little blowout. Yeah, targeting the Mentor instead of a Monk token when they have 3 mana up is a little risky. But if you high roll and they just have nothing, it happens. Well then. We gotta get this mentor under control if we can. I almost want to jam Wasteland in case they're an Academy deck. I am going to bring in Plunderer over Seed Shark, I guess. Do it over Vivian. Put that Lutri out so I don't forget about it. At least the mana looks good in this opener. I mean, this looks like a really good opener, Next turn, we're going to bolt ourselves for Sacred Foundry and have all of our colors. And I think just play the Jace out on too. The Johnny's like a little bit better pressure, but I think we want to set ourselves up to hit land drops and stuff. I wonder if cracking a clue is better than running on Jace. I'm not going to give him a treasure here because it makes my days a lot worse. And currently I don't super need the mana. If I play out the Jace instead of the Plunderer last turn, I do have a better chance of hitting my land drop. I think we're actually in an alright spot, though, based on the fact that we've got Days Force Will in hand, and we're, like, still drawing cards and plunking in. Is a Johnny better than with Days in hand? Why would a Johnny be better? Could have flipped Tameo. Why would I want to flip Tameo? To ultimate it, I kind of wanted these clue tokens. Oh, cantrips and such. This would have been a reasonable spot to flip a Tameo. I'm threatening to get back the Force of Will. I think there's a good chance I wasn't supposed to use Plunder there. I just still have this Daze handy. Oh shit, what up? Hey, Corey Mary. Thanks for the saw. Thanks for sharing that Prime. Yeah, I'm a fan, Benny Limit. Hey, Malvolo 22. Thanks for 29 months. Cruise it up. So the Seed Shark's pretty good with his Force of Will. I want to play the Mog. Irritated that opponent to death. The Firebolt seems really bad. But you do need a certain number of spells. It's a lot like our last draw, but without the counters and plus more land. Ooh. YouTube's acting screwy, so I gotta like root around to find my old placement. Oh, here we are. This song's pretty good. Yeah, I like forcing the swords on the Tameo. I almost clicked through it. Because it immediately replaces... it's a good Wrath. At least we get like the clue token there, right? I feel like Active Library would have been really good in this match. If we could have drawn it a little earlier. Pass for 5 turns in a row. Wow, that fucking sucked. Yeah, Flage is a lot of our late game oomph. The Colonnade serve here might be bad. It's possible I'm just like supposed to put Lutri to hand and biddle in for 1. Keep the heat up. I mean, bouncing the Colonnade is a pretty good end result of this turn. Yeah, YouTube keeps on ditching the playlist. It's very odd. Y'all letting Badagaboosh just fucking fire off the pyramid? No interruptions. So you lead on the Seed Shark, and you get to bait like hard counters, like actual counterspell. But then you run into more soft counters, like Mana Leak. Looks like I might have fucked that up. We'll see if the Shark does anything. Apparently I was supposed to shock myself to have an untapped red source here so I could finish off the Teferi. Doesn't seem right to me. Yeah, Time Spiral at this point would be disastrous. To flashback or not to flashback? Vomit. Yeah, I almost played out the short guy, which would have been miscalc proof. Yeah, I think their attack there is appropriate. Leyline Binding. I assume hitting my Shorkai. I didn't board in my Disenchant Critter. Mostly because I didn't see Leyline Binding. Super early stream. Super early. Yeah, not happy with how I played this game. The real bummer was getting Flage demoralized, but the Force of Will earlier was brutal too. I was really hoping I could get my Graveyard Hoser card that could nuke the opponent's graveyard before I fired off the Desperation Time Spiral. Oh shit! Hey Jeffrick, thanks for the sob. Thanks for sharing that Twitch Prime. Imagine starting work at 9 a.m., right? It's very unlike me. How am I doing? I'm doing great, Cheeseburger. Thanks for asking. Getting fucking married a month from now. Going to see some folk metal tonight. There's a lot for Caleb to be happy about. Well, now that they've treasure cruised exiling their graveyard, I'm a little bit more excited about the Time Spiral. Like, look at all this gas they just exiled. I might just be dead here, huh? You wonder how many large streamers have streamed during their wedding day? Yeah, right? Yeah, I wanted that too. If I had a way in my deck to clean up these mentor tokens, I'd be pretty happy. But I super don't. I think this Time Spiral is still losing, because it leaves them with gives them a fresh grip with the Seed Shark and the Mentor. I don't think this is very good, because I could, like, hold the Lutri and, like, make the Time Spiral a little bit resilient to counters. But getting double untaps would be kind of funny. Then we're going to have 3 lands here, so we might as well float 3 more. Imagine if we had a Brain Freeze in our deck somewhere. They're just absenting my board here, sure. This was not the man. I like that last hand a lot better, with a time warp in it and shit. Not a keepable thing. So close, huh? Second land, and you're just like excited about the turn 1 TMU opener. I guess I'm bidding Lantern. Ooh, we're both playing for the 2-1. Yeah, this deck would have loved a Brainstorm or a or some power or something. It's a great Force Will deck. It's a great Tameo deck. Oh shit! Hey, Power Dragon. You want to see a deck that would have the most points in Canlander? Oh, interesting. For folks that are curious what that would look like, that's the Canlander points list. So we're going to be basically picking along that list. Get a deck with a lot of tutors and such. Oh, Psychic Frog's pointed. Yeah, I haven't played Canlander in a while. A few of these aren't in the cube, of course. White Plume Adventure, Tainted Pact, Intuition, Gifts Ungiven. Thassa's Oracle is 6 points. Man, we keep drawing library. Just the darndest time. Now the token won't get in. This is kind of what Curiosity always looks like for me. For my opponents, they're always like flashing it in on an empty board and murdering me and drawing a bunch of cards. For me, it's like, yeah, I've got this 4/3 that I can't cast that wouldn't do anything even if I could. Well, I guess I'll put Lutri to hand. How's that format? Canlander? Canlander is like in between Cube Constructed and CEDH. Just in terms of like deck power level. I would not call it Singleton Vintage. You can play like a single, like you can play like 2 Moxen or whatever. That's not a vintage deck. I would not call it Singleton Legacy. There's still Black Lotuses and Ancestor Recalls flying around. I mean, I liked the analogy that I made. Cube decks very often have like a few pieces of power, but not the full set. But I think the average Canadian Highlander deck is more powerful than the average Cube deck. So it's in between CEDH and Powered Cube. You know, that thing I said. Oh, actually, Caleb, it's like Singleton, Pauper, Highlander. No, it's not. It's not like that. It doesn't play like that. It doesn't feel like that. The decks don't look like that. Yeah, I kind of knew the mana was going to be an issue in this deck, but like even if the mana was working well in this spot, we wouldn't be in an amazing place. Ooh. That's helpful. Yeah, maybe they don't play a creature next turn and I can flash double block and then get the call to complete down. That could work. That could work. Like drinking Woodford Reserve. Now we're getting into good analogies. Hey, morning, Waddy Fathom. Making baking pancakes? Hell yeah. You once saw Ben Wheeler from across the room, so you think you know more about Canelander than me? Ben Wheeler guested on the stream the other day. We chatted for like 4 hours. Played so much pre-modern. So now I would have to triple block to kill one of these things. I guess I'll just chump. Oh, fun Poet Dragon. Do I remember prismatic? I do not. Is that just another word for 255 color? In which case, I do. I do not have a lot of answers to not do, that's for sure. That's a scary attack. Couldn't play a bounce spell for the win here. I wonder if the germ should have served, actually. Because I'm going up to 9 life now. They could be at 6. Yeah, serve the germ instead and leave the Stoneforge bank to jump the construct. Probably just a way better fucking line, huh? I need to get... Yeah, and then if they serve the construct, we jump with the Stoneforge, and then we have 5 in the bin for the Flage. Because we have this Mire that cracks. Sometimes I make lines, and then I wish I'd done a better line. I have only had my 1 cup of tea for the day. Maybe I'll take a break after this match and go get myself some more caffeine. Kind of like that idea. It's like fine, right? Oh, they just want a shuffle effect for the top. I see. Cute. Folks, I have the list of Canelander points for the stip we're about to do. Didn't I post it a second ago? Oh, you pulled out the ones that aren't in the cube. I see. I think that eagle's in the north of my graveyard might be my only flying blocker for Dark Depths. could find Time Warp. Have a wild little end of the game, huh? You think you would have missed that line? Yeah, maybe. God, that curiosity just rotted in hand all game. I'm gonna cut it. Let's get the Cathar Commando and Plunderer in, Cut Bivy again. Alright, I'm gonna take a quick break. And go make myself some tea. Nice! Another perfect sideboarding plan. Well, we won game 1 without a sideboard, so... Almost made it back in time. This hand sucks, but going to 5 also sucks. Got a few cantrips. Thoughts on Wasteland over Library? I didn't fucking get my... I didn't sideboard. There's no sideboarding here. It didn't happen. I have no thoughts. It's not the worst draw. I mean, if we just draw a white source for the Stoneforge, we could have a chance here. Or a blue source for the Seed Shark, huh? That's very similar, because then the Force of Will would give you a 5/5. Nadu with nothing to do with it. I'm actually going to let that land. Last game they got the Nadu down, and it was just kind of a 3/4. Thoughts on sideboarding for game 3? I'll consider it! Are we slow Depson? Is that what we're tapping mana for? Yeah, the crop rotation gives them a 20/20 on my EOT, so I don't want to do that. Plus, I want a 5/5. Oh yeah, that Starfish is good. It's been my favorite addition of the recent rotation. They got Cub Nadu now. Urza Saga. This all just got like really bad for me really quickly. Did y'all see that? Wait, so which one of these were they holding? Maybe they were holding the Cub until they had a landfall. And then the land that they ripped just happened to be Urza's Saga? Maybe? Well, there's that white source I needed. How to get chatters to talk. 1, say something incorrect. 2, say something correct, but with a piece of information missing. What's your favorite, like, incorrect statement? What's your favorite bait? Sometimes I like just going like, I don't understand why anyone would own a pit bull. They're such violent dogs. And then mute the thread and walk away. Do you know we only use 10% of our brains? Well, maybe you. Aren't you a teacher, Tybalt? You study teachers. Sure. Ooh, that's a good one, Cnaz. So they can't activate this Saga. Kind of an interesting spot. The issue is we can, like, Flage this turn, but we don't have the second white to bring it back next turn. Not to mention the 5 cards in the graveyard. I think I'm just supposed to serve with the 5/5. Maybe I'm supposed to Flage the Cub. A wrong statement that always gets me, but, like, people are serious about it, is when they argue that, like, 2 dice isn't it doesn't give you an even chance of even and odds. Then I'm, like, suddenly, like, drawing matrices and fucking... Your pasta water only needs a little salt? Oh, man. I actually very rarely salt my pasta water. Mostly because I use a lot of cheese. And cheese has, like, a ton of salt, and it's very easy to oversalt if you do that. But if you are going to salt your pasta water, you gotta use a shitload. Otherwise, you're literally just, like, throwing salt down the drain. Because most of it stays in the water. Well, that seems bad for me. Breaking the spaghetti is correct. I mean, if your pan is smaller, breaking the spaghetti is totally fine. I think that's a weird one to be snobbish about, whether you can, like, break the spaghetti or not. Like, fuck off. Sorry, I don't have time to sit here and baby the noodles into the water. The whole benefit of pasta is that it's so fucking convenient to make. The more inconvenient you make it, the less the appeal. I say that, but I've been, like, making fresh fucking pasta like crazy ever since I started doing keto. You should buy different pasta if spaghetti doesn't fit. Sure, Quintoxic. But that's, like, a solution to fucking yesterday's problem. Like, right now, you're on your last thing of pasta. You've got your bag of spaghetti. You like... Isn't pasta just carbs? It is. The recipe that I've been using uses lupin flour, which is a bean flour, and then it mixes it with vital wheat gluten, which is wheat with the carbs removed, essentially. Buy a different shape. Yeah, instead of like making your spaghetti your super convenient meal that you love, fucking go to the grocery store again. This is way better than simply breaking the spaghetti. What a useful metric. You can have part of the pasta sticking out and let it soften until it fits the bowl. Yeah, I mentioned that, Van Wedge. That is babying the pasta. And that's fine if you like got time to just like sit there and like push it down with a fork or whatever. But Again, one of the really nice things about pasta is that it's extremely convenient to make. Extremely calorie efficient, extremely convenient. Very, and cheap. Very odd to be snobbish about. One of the weirdest fucking things you can be snobbish about. This miracle food. And so yeah, if you have the time to fucking sit there and poke it down or whatever, instead of be like, yep, broke it, snap, drop, set my timer for like 7 minutes, whatever it is. Get some shit done. Come back, have an awesome thing of pasta. What's the actual issue of breaking the pasta? Some people prefer longer noodles. There is no issue. I went into this. I was like, why do some people care about this? And the answer is they have no reason. They have no life. All right, we're gonna get an actual sideboard in this time. I don't know. Maybe they weren't hugged enough as a kid. If you got expensive pasta at a nice place and it was broken, you'd be mad. I mean, if you got expensive pasta at a nice place, is that a concern that they were breaking the pasta? Has that ever happened? Don't nice places typically have very large pasta pots? Snobbishness is very rarely pointed towards high upscale restaurants, is what I've found. It's typically like a way to feel superior for no reason. Just jollies. You put ketchup on a hot dog? Disgusting. You broke your pasta and it now tastes the same and has the same texture, but is in a slightly different shape? You can't just have slightly different shaped pasta! If you're going to an expensive pasta place, it better be made in store, right? Yeah, fresh pasta is different. The length of spaghetti does not impact its sauce retention, Skeeter the dog. And the bit is that there are infinite different pasta shapes. Hey, Baller Donk, thanks for the sob, thanks for 59 months. Ranch dressing on a hot dog? Sure, whatever. You're eating pig anus. Who cares? Whatever you want to put on it is... Whatever you put on a hot dog is like higher quality than what is actually in the hot dog. It's processed fucking meat. It's like... There is nothing you can add to a hot dog that makes it worse. You have ruined your pig anus tube. How uncouth. Bat semen hot dog? I bet a bat semen hot dog would be very expensive. That does not sound like an easy thing to source. Does breaking the pasta in half make it harder to pick up via fork? No, if anything, it'd be easier. Because if you have super long noodles, then you have to like twirl for forever. You look down on people who don't eat spaghetti with their hands. I did that for a sponsored Wizards video once. They did a set. They'd sponsored me to do a set review of Throne of Eldraine, And food was a big component of that. So in the middle of the set review, I had 2 different food breaks. One was to eat an entire raw onion. And in the other one, I just, like, had a plate of spaghetti that I was eating with my hands, just, like, dropping it into my mouth. I literally listed out multiple reasons, Avalonians. So, you're just not listening. Tedious. You have a tedious opinion. Are we in the mood for a stip? We already have one in the queue, right? Yeah, we're gonna do one the most points in Canelander. Insubordinate and churlish, yeah, that's a fine term for it too. Just very, very arrogant and wrong at the same time. The best combination. There's no reason. Yeah, well, to repeat myself for like the 3rd time, Avalonians, the convenience of not having to like push the fucking noodles down if they don't fit in your pot is a fantastic reason. And it's the reason that people do it. Like the most obvious, like banal reason. They literally sell short spaghetti. They sell pasta of every shape imaginable. You want to hear more about the dice? 7 is the most common roll with 2 dice, so clearly odds happen.